All right, guys, so today we are talking about the losing day that I had today. Coming into today, I had a very nice plan to both sides. 4,300 on the S&P 500 futures was that level that I was planning to trade off of. Now, I was open to the break and hold above for longs, which I ended up trading later in the day on some QQQ, or I was open to the supply rejection of 4,300. Now, coming into today, right, I knew there was going to be a day out there where I tried to play a supply rejection and it didn't work. I knew this was going to be coming at some point in this market. Over the last month and a half, supply rejections have worked beautifully, and I'm up very nicely off of those supply rejections. You guys have seen those live trades on this channel, the rejections of important supply levels, which has worked very nicely as the market has sort of trended lower. Now today, I did try it again. I saw a nice 4,300 rejection, start to step in, maybe was a little bit too quick to it, and I ended up taking the loss and accepting that I was incorrect. Am I upset with the trade that I took? Absolutely not. I would have taken this trade probably 10 out of 10 times. I saw a wick rejection of the 4,300 level, which would typically get me into that trade, right? And when I'm trading, I'm not second guessing, right? If I see something I like, I'm taking it. I'm not going to second guess myself. So looking back at the trades that we're going to look at today, I don't regret what I did. Now, is there a mistake that I could have worked on? Absolutely. A little bit more patience, waiting for that level to set up a little bit cleaner, and just understanding that it was early, right? The rejection maybe wasn't there, and I needed to stay a little bit more patient. So today, we're going to break down the SPY put that I took, the loss that I took on that position, the game plan that I had coming into the day, and just sort of break down what happened. So guys, let me make it very clear, right? A losing trade on the market a day like today is going to happen 100% in your trading career. It's about accepting you're wrong in that trade, keeping that loss minimal, and moving forward. There is no way, 0% chance that you can be a perfect trader and not have losing trades. Today is one of those days that could have gone much worse. If I didn't accept I was wrong today, if I continued to try to short the uptrend that was on the market, and I didn't just say to myself, hey, 4,300, it's not rejecting, don't keep trying it. Those days where we keep trying that same idea and it's not there, those are the days that we go on tilt. Those are the days that we end up blowing up accounts, losing large percents of the account. So yes, it's a red day, but I'm very pleased with how I accepted that I was incorrect today. So let's go ahead and now break down the trade, and I have that trade recorded live for you guys to see at the end of today's video. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into it. So guys, here is the 4-hour chart on the S&P 500 futures, and coming into today, of course, I was watching 4,300 on ES, right? We had the 20 SMA at that level, and we had some very major previous rejection points. So if we look to the left here, right, we can see 4,300, previous support, some nice rejections here, turned into support again, nice rejections here, right? So we knew 4,300 was a level of interest. Now, when I did look back at this trade and I looked at a different time frame, it was much more clear. So I usually trade on the 2-minute chart. And am I going to change that? No, I'm not going to change what I do because of one loss on the day like today. So here is the S&P 500 on the 2-minute chart, right? And this is where things sort of went wrong, I would say, for me today. So you guys can see here, we had that big pop above 4,300 in the morning. I didn't take that long because that's just too quick of a long. It's just a straight up move out of the gates. Now we had an aggressive pullback. And so in my mind at this time, I said, okay, let me see if now that 4,300 level fails, because logically, right, and it makes sense when I look back and I think back about this trade, I still think it does make sense. It's just not what happened on the market, right? I have to accept that. I thought, hey, some trapped longs possibly above 4,300 on this pullback. FOMC was yesterday, and it was a very large move. Typically, the market has been pretty weak. If we break back under this 4,300, we might be able to take advantage of some trapped longs here, a little bit of profit taking, maybe some panicking if we started to see some downside, and possibly be able to scalp some downside, giving back some of that FOMC upside, right? That was sort of my mindset when I saw that pullback under 4,300. I said to myself, hey, this is a potential very nice reaction. If we can get that 4,300 rejection here, try to look for some puts, use that 4,300 as your stop, and see if you can get a little bit of a fade off that level, giving back some of that FOMC upside, some of that major pre-market upside. Well, it didn't work, right? That plan did not work, and that is okay. It is okay to trade your plan. If it's incorrect, accept you're wrong and take your loss. This is going to happen many, many, many times in your trading career, and it is a matter of whether you can accept when you're incorrect. That's really the biggest thing, right? Because after I saw the ES hold above that 20 SMA, get back above this 4,300 level, I had to cut my loss. I had to cut it right there. I had to accept that we got back above that level, that we weren't rejecting 4,300, and that I was incorrect on the entry. Now, you can't see it here, which is why I like to share live trades with you guys, but this candle right here actually showed a very nice wick rejection, right? There was a really sexy downside bearish wick rejection at 4,300, which you will see in the live trade, which got me into the trade. But unfortunately, right, that trade did not end up working out. That wick did not hold up, and we got back above. So that was my loss. That was really my main loss of the day. It was right here. I did attempt it a little bit here at the later in the day around 10 o'clock, but quickly got out. It was basically a break-even trade. The main loss of the day was really quick. It was very, very quick. It was like a 2-3 minute trade where I tried to short the 4,300 and it failed, right? That's about it, right? That's really what led to my loss today. After I saw that, I saw us hold above the 4,300 level. I did go ahead and long the QQQ, which helped me make back some of the losses today, which was a nice trade as well. But unfortunately, right, I did eventually accept that I wasn't going to make back my wins or make back my losses. I was just going to accept what I had on the day. Now, here's something that's quite interesting, right? And maybe it's something that I recommend for myself in the future, and maybe for some of you to avoid maybe some of this short-term fake-out action. If we go to the 5-minute chart on the ES and we recognize sort of what this 5-minute looks like, right, we can see there was never a 5-minute candle that really closed below that 4,300 level, right? So when I was taking my shorts around here under 4,300 on the 2-minute, right, look what the 5-minute looked like. It was some really nice wick holds above that level. And so we never broke under that 43. We actually continued to hold it on that 5-minute and eventually got that break. So in the future, right, around these key levels, do I want to make sure I'm also monitoring maybe a little bit of a larger time frame? Sure, right? Typically, I don't have problems with using that 2-minute chart. Today, a little bit faked out, a little bit of chop in the morning, which made me take that loss. But here is something I did want to point out that I did notice after reviewing my trade. I saw the 5-minute chart and I said, hey, if I would have been watching that 5-minute chart at that time, maybe I wouldn't have taken that short, right? And these are the things that is natural and you have to be going through no matter what level of trader you are, whether you are someone that's been trading for 10 years like myself or someone that's new to trading, right? Make sure you review, look at different time frames, see what you could have done to avoid taking that trade if it was incorrect. And for me, maybe next time I make sure to have a little 5-minute chart pulled up on the S&P, watching that at the same time and understanding what's going on in that larger time frame. So you guys can see pretty much from that point forward on the day, 4,300, the 5-minute chart, look how beautiful those holds were, creating a very nice upside move, which I was happy to catch a piece of, but it wasn't enough to take me out of the red on the day, and I did accept the red day that I had. So let's now go over that live trade. You're going to see where I executed this trade, what I was sort of talking about with the group, taking that short under 4,300, accepting that I was wrong, right? And that was about it. I think another major key thing to notice here, guys, is that if I did not accept that what I was in was incorrect, it would have been a very ugly day, right? A very ugly day. If I did not accept that 4,300 was holding, that my short idea was incorrect, and if I would have just held on to those puts all day, they would have been a complete loss. I had probably about, I don't even know what I had in it. Maybe $6,000, $7,000 in it. I'm not taking a $7,000 loss by not accepting that I'm wrong, right? That is another major key that I want to make sure I get across in this video. When you're wrong, accept it. Tomorrow is a new day. Do I think I can make back $1,500 tomorrow? Absolutely, right? Absolutely, I can make back this loss. Today, I was wrong. I'm not scared to admit it, right? Because not being able to admit you're wrong, first of all, is never going to work in the market, right? That is just simply not going to be something that type of mindset is not going to be something you can have if you plan to be successful as a trader. So do I care to make a video about it? No, right? I think it's a great learning lesson for some of you out there, seeing it happen to me, understanding that this happens to everyone. And if you're not seeing this from other people, it's BS, right? Because there are trades that go wrong, and we have to learn to accept the fact. So let's go ahead and watch that live trade. I hope you guys did enjoy a little bit of a recap of what went wrong for me today. I tried to short the 4,300 supply. It didn't work today. The supply turned into demand, and the long off that level was in fact the correct trade. Tomorrow, let's put a little wager, right? Tomorrow, check out my Twitter, check out my Instagram. I'm going to make back this loss tomorrow. That's my mindset now, right? Today is done. It's over. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to make back that loss, and we're going to end the week strong. Thank you guys again for all the support on the channel. Press that like button. Enjoy this live trade. And after that live trade, I'm just going to wrap up the video. Press the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Let's see if the ES fails this 4,300 push or not. That's the key. If you get above, then that's going to move higher. Let's see what 4,300 does here. A little bit of divergence on NASDAQ ES. Interesting. This candle is very important here. Okay, we're back. This candle is very key. Does it wick? Does it hold above, or do we wick under? That's what I'm waiting to see here. Okay, you're back above, so not interested now. I needed to see a wick rejection there for any kind of interest. So this is a difficult spot, right? Because you don't know right now whether this is a pullback long or if this is a rejection of, right? I don't know yet. We gotta wait a little bit. This is difficult. It's not easy right now. Okay, that's an interesting candle. Okay, I'm in SPY puts. I'm in SPY 427 puts. That candle, I'm willing to take it off that candle. I'm okay. If that candle closes green higher, I'll get out. I'm going to play 4,300 here. Could very well be wrong here, guys. This is an aggressive trade. But I'm looking to see if that 4,300 wick rejection steps in. Got a quick exit if we get above. Okay, holding. Waiting for this candle to close. If this candle holds 4,300, I'm going to take it off. Waiting. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Waiting. Waiting, 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 waiting. Okay, still in. Still looks sort of weak here. I need to see a solid green candle over 4,300 to get taken out here. Tesla 215 rejections. There's only two sides to this story here. It's either this is a pullback long or a rejection play. It's really personal whether you think it's, one side's not more right than the other at this point. I'm just taking some shots. 4,300 potentially holding, so I might get taken out here. If I see this candle hold strong 4,300, I'm taking it off. All right, I'm out. Not enough. I wanted to see a quick reaction to the downside, so I don't like that. So now let's reassess.